I want to play a video quickly before we have a little chat about Arsenal. Let's take a look at what Jude Bellingham has said a little bit earlier on today.
Done for tomorrow.
Hi Jude, Alex Howell, BBC. What's it like being part of a team where people near enough expect these comebacks from you?
Yeah, I think it's. I did say that to someone the other day, where it's a weird environment at the minute. The last few days, it's like one of the worst results we could possibly imagine away, and for some reason, everyone thinks it's nailed on that we'll come back, and it's a nice feeling, I have to say. It means there's a lot of trust in the talent. It means that you're at a club that's unlike no other, the best in the world. That's what it represents and signifies to me. So, there's a pressure that comes along with that for sure, and we'll want to deliver on what everyone thinks, that we can come back, and that's obviously the goal for us. But yeah, there is a pressure about it, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
So he's also said as well from this point that Jude Bellingham has said that the remontada has been the most used word at Real Madrid in this last week after their 3-0 loss. And he stated that once they got on the bus, all of the players said that they were highly confident they will turn this round and knock Arsenal out.
Bro, I gotta say, yeah, I don't know who he's speaking to in it, yeah, because I don't know if he's got someone around him that's trying to glaze a little bit. Yeah, because I don't know anyone really who's backing Real Madrid to come back. People are saying if there's one team that could do it, it's probably Real Madrid. But I don't think I've met one person who said Real Madrid will win on tomorrow. Not one. So I don't know what he's saying. Like he's trying to make it.
They might win the tie, but I don't think they'll go through. I hope.
Bro, they're not going to score. I just don't see it. They're not going to score more than 3 goals without you responding in 90 minutes. Nah. So I don't know who he's been speaking to, because he said that everyone he's spoken to has said that they're going to go through. Nah, that's a mad glaze. I think it's a done deal already, man. But listen, if he wants to, people have been around him telling him they're going to win first. But I don't know. Does anybody in this chat, think that Real Madrid are going to overturn a 3-0 deficit against Arsenal? Not whether they could do it. Do you think that they are going to do it? I don't think they're going to do it.
If they score first within the first 5-10 minutes, it's going to be nervy, squeaky bum time for Arsenal, just because we can't. Like, Arsenal absolutely must. There's no excuses if we go out now. It is an absolute shambles, and it would have been one of the biggest bottling, crumbling, whatever you want to call it. They're a great side. It does mean no disrespect to them at all. I can't do that. But surely at 3-0, we must. And I don't know how we're going to set up, but I hope we don't just sit back, because I think they actually want us to give them the ball and say, come on, have a go. Try and get the 3 goals. I think we need to set up similarly to how we did in the first leg. And people think, oh, it's lucky because you got 2 free kicks, the only reason you beat them. But we were quite significantly better than them, particularly in the second half. I don't think Real Madrid did much, really. It's going to be a different game, that's for sure. At the Bernabeu, there's no way that it's going to be similar to the Emirates. I think what we've done and proven is that we can beat them, but actually going there is going to be a big test for Arsenal mentally, surely. It's a phenomenal place. They're going to shut the roof. They're going to make it hostile. It's going to be from minute 1 right the way through to minute 90. Horrible for us in terms of the Real Madrid fan base. That's all they can do, is do their role, do their job. But they've conceded goals at the Bernabeu.
Don't forget they're cracking out of the glass cabinet, the lucky jumper.
Yes,
they have turned into Arsenal this last week with their PR and their weird stuff, haven't they? I found that hilarious.
They really have. Yeah, they really have. And they've also turned around with the whole, we're going to sort to UEFA, we're going to get the refs on side. There's going to be a red card and a penalty in this game. Wouldn't surprise me if there was, by the way. But Arsenal just need to remain relaxed and kind of compact and resolute, because they've got to score 4 goals to go through. 3 to take it to extras, which would be horrendous. But we've got to score over there, in my opinion. People that think we can just sit there, park the bus and see this one out and don't concede. They're a good side, man. They're a good side. We haven't been able to not let Everton or Brentford score against us.
Can I ask you a question? Like, let's be real and honest. Are you nervous?
Yeah, of course. Of course. A lot of people will say, why? Because you're 3-0 up, you're basically walking through. But it's a nervy thing, because it's going to be horrendously embarrassing if we don't go through, man. We've got to go through being 3-0 up. I don't care who it's against. Yeah, it can go against Galacticos or Pep's Barcelona side, one of the best ever. At 3-0, when you're a club the size of us, we absolutely have to go through. There's no, I'm quietly confident we'll go through, but of course I'm nervous. Yeah. So look, I think that we will go through the tie. I do think we'll lose the game, but I don't think it will be enough to lose to not go through the tie. And that's all I care about, really. There's no shame in losing to Real Madrid.
So let me
Right?
ask you a
There's no
question then,
shame.
yeah.
Go
Potsy,
on, bro.
yeah. So if you're Arteta, are you telling me that you wouldn't set this team up just to park the bus, low block, ultra stink out performance? You honestly telling me you'd go there and try and actually score some goals?
Yeah, I think we need to go there and score. People might think that's mad, but I don't, because I think if we do sit up and say, come on, have a go, give them the ball, I think they'll want that. And I think they'll fancy their chances to break through us. So, look, I'm not saying they're going to break through us 4 times, but I want to go over there and score. When I've seen the teams that have gone up against Real Madrid, they've scored some goals against them.
But are you not playing into their hands though? Because you'll be pushed up a little bit more, and then you got to cover for the pace.
So I don't want to go out and gung ho from minute 1. That's not what I'm saying. Like for me, if we go all out to try and beat them 3-0 again, then yeah, we could get caught up. I think we need to have a right balance between it, and that's what we had in the first leg, man. So I'm kind of hoping he replicates that, if I'm honest with you.
If it was me, I'd go there and stink the gaff out. Play 5 at the back.
Maybe
defend,
you will.
ultra low block, Declan
Maybe
Rice, Thomas Partey in the middle, and just stink it out. Yeah, rolling around on the floor every time someone touches you. That's what I do. Because I hear what you're saying, right? And I seen someone in the chat saying, yeah, but what about if we go down and we score the first goal? It's all over. Yeah, but what about if you don't score the first goal? Or if you go for it and then they score, and then you end up messing it up, yeah? And then people will be going, why did they do that? Why did they just sit back? Arsenal fans have been telling us for the last 2 or 3 years that they've got the best defence in the league, the best defence in the world, some of them have told us. Go and deploy the best defence in the world by telling them to defend.
Yeah, but I think so. I do get where you're coming from. And one of my questions here is, do you think Arteta will go bold, or do you think he'll play it safe? I feel that if you sit back is there not a fear though, LB, that if Arsenal sit back too deep and invite too much pressure on, that could send the wrong message? Like sometimes in a game, you can be 2-0 up with 70 minutes gone, and a team takes off a striker for a DM, and it sends a message that you're feeling the pressure. They've got to lay a glove on Madrid, don't they?
No. We're in the 12th round. They've won it. They've won the card. They've done. They just need to not get knocked out. Just get in the corner, put your hands up, and just dodge everything, man, for the 3 minutes. And that's all they need to do. Yeah, you're basically saying to your boxer, "Oh, you've won 11 rounds out of 11. Yeah, but go and knock him out." Why?
I think it's 6 rounds gone. They're not in the 12th round. There's a whole game of football to play.
But if they're 3-0 up,
yeah,
they're 3-0 up. They are not going to. They cannot go there, go and look for the knockout when they're 3-0 up. Because if they go for the knockout and then they end up getting done on the counter attack, people are just going, "What are they doing?" Now, for me, you can't sit there and tell me for the last 2 years that Arsenal have got the best defence in the world, that David Raya is the best goalkeeper in the league, that Rice is this, Thomas Partey is this, and then all of a sudden, when you actually need them to do that specific task, we go, "Nah, we don't trust them to do it. We don't trust them to do it." So everything that I've been told over the last 2 years is a lie, because when we've come to deploy what's needed to be done, defence, with the defence on the midfield,
well, he might do that.
People like Potsy are bottling it.
He might do
bottling
that.
It. You're bottling it, aren't you?
He might do it, though, mightn't he? He
yeah,
might do
you're
it.
bottling it. I might do it, but you're bottling it because I asked you the question and you said no.
I'm not saying that we don't need to do that for half the game, though. I don't want to be sitting there for the whole game doing that, because I think they could get through. I think they're that good. I think that at the Bernabeu, when they're on fire, you got Vinny, you got Mbappe, you got Rodrigo, you got Bellingham. I think they're a good side. We're not coming up against, Everton here. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I do feel like that we will do a little bit of both. And I think we can go and score over there. I think we're good enough. I think Saka, Martinelli, Rice, Partey, Marino, to be fair, of late has been scoring goals. And I think he's got the most goals against Real Madrid, actually, Marino. So for me, I look at it and think we've got players that can hurt them as well. I'm not looking at this thinking, oh, crikey, how the hell are we going to stop them from scoring 5 or 6? We ain't going to score. We ain't good enough. I think we've got a good chance of scoring. So that's all I'm saying, man. I think we'll lose the game, but not the tie. And look, we need to go through big time.
Who which Arsenal player do you think is going to be the most important for you, or pairing or partnership? Which do you think is the most crucial for you to make sure you get through this tie?
I think we've got to win the midfield battle again, if I'm honest with you. So I'm looking at Rice and Partey together. A lot of people would look at our back line and say that Timber and Skelly have to play out their skin. Yeah, I think they do again, if I'm honest with you. But I feel like Partey and Rice in midfield were so influential.
Is this not the most obvious answer ever? It's David Raya. David Raya. He's the most important player on that pitch. Bro, don't concede more than 3 goals and we go through.
Yeah, but it ain't always Raya though. The way you concede, isn't it?
For me, he's the most important player on that pitch tomorrow. Is David Raya, because you say to David Raya, "Don't concede 3 goals," and we're in the semi-final. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't always think it's the goalkeeper though that concedes goals. Because if you get 3 screamers that go in, I'm not blaming Raya. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've been looking at the defense saying, why didn't no one close him down? So it ain't always the goalkeeper. But what I will say is that when you look at individuals and how you dominate a game, I look at the midfield. So I think we have to win that midfield battle again with Partey and Rice. That's what I would say. Timber and Lewis Skelly obviously have to lock up Vinny and Rodrigo. Everybody has to do their part, but I think if there's a department, I think it's the midfield, man.
Well, they definitely ain't going to play Modric and Camavinga, because that was an
no. It's going to be too many Ceballos and Bellingham is the 3.
Yeah, because that was an absolute disaster from Ancelotti, wasn't it? Let's get that right straight away. It will be a trickier battle for the midfield.
Do you guys think? Do you think we could see another flopping tonight from Mbappe and Bellingham? They're star players.
I hope so. I hope tomorrow they're 2 of the worst players. I hope it ain't Odegaard that's flopping again, because he's been doing my head in of late. But look, I pray that they have another quiet night. Timber and Lewis Skelly the other night were unreal, by the way. This Lewis Skelly kid is ridiculous. I'm sorry, absolutely ridiculous. And Timber has not been spoken about enough, in my opinion. I think defensively he's outstanding. And as a fullback, he's ridiculously good. Saliba and Kivior have not lost in 9 games together as a pairing. That's actually quite a fairly good stat. So hopefully those things continue for us, man. But I think we can score. I look at Saka and think, he was the best winger on the pitch the other night. Yeah, when people were talking about Vinny and Mbappe and Rodrigo, Saka was better than them on the night. So let's hope he has another good night. I think Arsenal can score out there. I don't think that Arsenal are going there to go, what, we ain't going to score, so let's make sure we don't concede. I think we can. That's what I'll say. But yeah, Rice, let's hope he has another couple of banging free kicks, mate. let's get the next minute we get a free kick, everyone's going to be looking at him. That's for sure. So Saka's going to get fouled. So let's see if we can put another couple top bins, man.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a real interesting one. It really is. This says, as a Barca fan, if Arsenal doesn't shit their pants and doesn't sit back, they can nick a goal and go through.
There you go. We can score, man. We can score out there. Definitely.
Yeah, you can.
Not what I'd be doing. Not what I'd be doing.
Anyway, if you do what you do, you better not make sure you don't concede any goals. That's all I'm saying.
If you do what you do, you better make sure you not concede goals.
Yeah, but we.
And it's worse for you.
Even if I do what I do, then you've got that excuse of they weren't able to balance it out quite enough. If you concede when you're doing what you're doing, they're like, what the hell was that then? Minute nil to 90 and they've conceded 3 goals.
The reason why mine makes more sense, is because if you do what you do and try and play a little bit and try and go for a goal, and they get you on the counter attack, and then you end up going out, everyone at the end of the game is just going to go, why the hell did they do that?
But then what would you not say if we went out? Would you not? You'd be the first one to go, I didn't even go there and have go. They sat there negatively.
Not 3-0 up. No, what if you play a low block and they just stun you with some like mad goals? No one should be sitting there going, they done the wrong tactics. You are 3-0 up. You just need to go there, and not concede 3 goals. And you're telling me you've got the best centre backs and the best defence and the best midfield in the world, and now you don't want to do it. Don't get it at all. But listen, let's see, innit? You want to go on that attack, man.
Look, it's going to be what Arteta decides, not what Albi and Potts decide. Trust me. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. I think we have to mix it up a bit. LB thinks we have to stink the place out. As long as we go through, I don't care, man. I just want to get through in this tie. You can't be 3-0 up and not go through.
I also don't think Vinny Jr. and Mbappe if you play low block, there's not going to be a lot of space for them to run into. So I think naturally you're going to make it more difficult for them anyway. I listen, it's my opinion, innit? But I just think if like you're literally nullifying them a little bit by playing a low block because you're limiting the space. And if you try and go there and get the goal, I understand why you'd want to do that, but you're actually, if you get the goal, great, it's done. 4 goals, they ain't coming back from that, But if I just feel like you're giving them the opportunity to hit you in the space. And I just think, why would you do that?
Yeah. Now listen,
see what he does, man.
It's going to be such an interesting game. Their midfield was a shambles. Why change?
Why change what?
Why change a shambles? Try and make it better.